ladies. Welcome to the No Expiration Date podcast, the podcast for women 50 and better who are ready to shake things up, try new things, and live life on their terms.
We are your hosts, Cindy and Anne-Marie, two women who know that life after 50 is just getting started.
Whether you're reinventing yourself, chasing a dream, or just looking for real talk and good laughs, you're in the right place.
We'll cover everything from career pivots to wellness, relationships, and embracing this bold, beautiful season of life with confidence.
So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's chat, because the best is yet to come. Cindy Storoy is a dynamic coach and business leader with more than 24 years of experience empowering and guiding leaders across a spectrum of industries, including the federal government, military, business, travel, real estate, healthcare, and nonprofit sectors. Originally from Denton, Texas, Cindy began her path to leadership through the United States Air Force, joining ROTC while attending Texas State University. Her early career in the military cultivated a strong foundation in discipline, service, and leadership, values that continue to guide her work and inspire those around her. 5.5 years ago, Cindy and her husband embarked on a new entrepreneur journey, founding Storybook Vacations. Their vision was to create a thriving travel business that would also serve as a financial legacy to their 4 daughters. Through determination and adaptability, the couple has steered Storybook Vacations to success, even during periods of global uncertainty. Their passion for mentorship led them to the creation of Storybook Success, a business coaching enterprise devoted to helping aspiring leaders and business owners unlock their potential. Through tailored coaching and mindset work, Cindy empowers clients to live their life they have always dreamed of. Cindy's commitment to uplifting others extends to her role as a community leader. This year, she and a team of business owners will host the annual Boss Beauty Women's Retreat in San Juan, Puerto Rico, an event designed to refresh and inspire superwomen from all walks of life while raising funds for St. Jude's Research Hospital.
Hey ladies, welcome to the No Expiration Date podcast, where adventurous women redefine travel on their own terms. Whether you're a solo explorer seeking new horizons, planning a fun-filled girls' getaway, or simply discovering how to see the world without breaking the bank, you're in the right place. This show is all about empowering women over 50 to embrace the joy of travel, no matter your experience level. Together, we'll dive into practical tips for traveling safely, smartly, and stylishly. So grab your passport, pack your dreams, and let's embark on a journey where age is just a number and the world is your playground.
So hi, Cindy. Thank you for being here with us, and we're excited to talk about Storybook Vacations. And I guess we really want to start off by knowing how you got started in the travel business.
Well, guys, first of all, again, thank you for having me on this morning. I'm super excited to be here. So I started my travel journey about 5.5 years ago. I've been traveling for many years, just going even further back than that. It's really the Air Force is where my inspiration for travel came from. As a kid, I loved looking at different destinations, dreaming about where I would go. But it really wasn't until I entered the Air Force at the tender age of 22 that I really began to travel. I didn't grow up with a lot of money, grew up with great parents who emphasized education, but we were not a rich family. So the Air Force afforded me a lot of opportunities to travel to places I really loved and other places where I probably will never go again. To be transparent, but either way, travel is travel, and travel is everything. So got started in the industry. Actually, a friend of ours, my husband Aaron and I worked the business together. Got started because an Air Force, she's now Air Force veteran, but Air Force nurse at the time said, "Hey, Cindy, have an opportunity for you," and introduced us to the world of travel as travel advisors. And so I was kind of like, what? And so at any rate, what made sense was that, hey, if you know travel, if you love travel, you should own it. And so that's what we did. We came into the travel space as business owners and started our journey. And so that's where we are now. Now we've been able to do a lot more than just travel. We've been able to introduce this business to others and bring people with us because travel is a tax deductible enterprise.
Nice.
And so, for those of you who are out there traveling and booking travel for free, holla at your girl. I can absolutely show you how to monetize the travel that you're already doing. So, it's very important. But yeah, that's kind of how we got started. A friend told me about it, and we got started right at the end of 2019, and we haven't looked back. So
That's awesome. That's such a great way to explore the world.
yes,
Yeah.
And you're getting paid to do it, and it's a tax write-off.
come on now. Come on.
Yeah, right?
All right, so let's jump right into women's solo travel.
Yes.
What are some of the most popular destinations?
So there's a lot out there, but I would say number one is Japan.
Oh, interesting.
Japan is friendly, beautiful, extremely clean. People in Japan love Americans.
Okay.
And I know that your podcast is bigger than just America. I know you guys are global, right? Right. So, but as far as the number one destination in terms of solo travel, safe travel for women specifically, Japan. And I would say that obviously there are different seasons, and we'll kind of talk through that, what that looks like. But it's extremely safe. It has great public transportation, which is something you always want to look at with a country is, especially if you're traveling solo, how are you going to get to where you're going? Especially because not every country has Uber, right? And so if you have a country with a great public transport or transit system, that's really what you want to look at when you're traveling solo. And then Iceland. Iceland, I've not been to Iceland yet. It is definitely on my bucket list, but Iceland is known for its natural beauty, its hot spas, and the fact that it's very exotic. And so people are, traveling there more often. And so definitely in terms of safety, Iceland is a great place for solo travel, if that's your thing. So definitely look at Iceland. They say it's one of the safest countries in the world. Um, so that's very cool. And then Portugal. Some of you have probably been to Portugal before.
I've been through Portugal, but never to Portugal.
Okay.
Because I was stationed in Italy for 4 years, so we'd take the hop down.
Yeah, so it's very easy.
Yeah.
European travel is so amazing.
It is very amazing.
So easy. So we actually are going on like a 10-day cruise next year in Portugal.
Oh, nice.
So we're really looking forward to that. So basically, friendly locals, affordable, and beautiful coastal towns.
Yes,
Definitely.
Portugal is beautiful.
Yeah.
You've been there?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
A kid, so I barely remember, but I was there when I was younger, a lot younger.
You'll have to go back.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
I know my son just went to Japan for spring break with his dad and his family, but he did a lot of wandering off on his own, and he felt completely safe. He loved it. So, I mean, I'm sure for a young man, I mean, for women too, it's good to know that it's a safe place to go on your own if you want to.
Very safe, very clean, and the friendliness of the locals is unmatched. The friendliness of the locals is unmatched.
I know it's easy to.
Another great country is New Zealand. Again, New Zealand is a lot of adventure there, safe, easy to navigate. So for your adventure travelers, New Zealand is definitely the place to go. And then Thailand. Thailand, you're going to hear a lot.
Yeah.
It's safe.
So affordable.
It's so affordable, right? I mean, when you talk about probably top 3 affordable places to travel, and really the most affordable places to travel are going to be in Asia.
Okay.
Period. So for some of you who may not have ventured into different parts of Asia, that definitely is where your money is going to go the furthest. But Thailand is great for backpackers. It's affordable and very welcoming for solo travels.
Okay.
Is it affordable to get there?
It depends, right? So you have some different, if you're watching that, so it's all about planning in advance. So I would say yes. especially if you really leverage your points and different things like that, through your credit card companies and things like that. But if you are traveling a year out, yes, you can even put that ticket on layaway through different sites.
Oh, nice.
Right. Yeah.
I like that.
Right. You could definitely take a look at that, but if it's a last minute, no, of course,
Right.
any international travel is going to be difficult to do last minute. So, but I would say it's affordable, depending on how you watch that, airline ticket,
Yeah.
and if you're using Skyscanner or Google Flights. So,
I need to do that. I jumped down that rabbit hole of credit cards, opening different ones for different points. I have points just floating out there. I don't even know what to do with them. I opened my Amex and I'm like, oh, you have 150,000 points. I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
yeah,
Now what?
Then you have a travel section of your credit card company,
Yeah.
and they can let you know what you can use your points toward. So definitely leverage that. You got girl. Look, I'll take those points if you can go. Look, and then of course our friendly neighbors, Canada. Canada is extremely safe, very beautiful, huge. Right? It'll take you weeks to get to. You've got the French part of Canada.
Yeah.
English part of Canada, safe, diverse, full of natural beauty. So definitely want to head to Canada if you're looking for somewhere quick, especially if you live in those northern tier states.
Right.
Super easy to get there from New York, right, or Michigan. Costa Rica. Costa Rica is definitely top on my list.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, Marie, you've been there?
No, I was planning on going there early this year, and I had something else to do.
Yeah.
But she was planning a solo trip.
Yeah.
You will love it. You'll love it. Well, and especially if you speak a little Spanish, but the locals are very sweet. I traveled to Costa Rica about 2.5 to 3 years ago.
Okay.
Depending on the season, it does rain a lot. There's
the best time to go. Yeah.
Yes. But it's eco-friendly, lots of friendly locals. The food is amazing. They have horseback riding. I really enjoy Costa Rica.
Yo puedo hablar poquito español. But when I was doing the research, it kind of felt like either you're going to do a beach trip or you're going to go hiking in the forest. Like I couldn't find a place that you could do both.
Right.
So I need to explore that a little bit more, but I was super excited about that trip.
Yes.
I was overheard because I told Anne-Marie, I said, hey, Oprah just came out with a magazine with the top so many destination spots she recommends on O Magazine.
Mm-hmm.
But listening to them on the morning show, they said when you're planning a trip, plan for the activity, not the location so much.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So if you want to hike, look where the best places are to hike and things like that.
Definitely.
So I thought that was interesting. I never thought about doing that. Just planning for what you want to do, not necessarily that.
No, I agree with that. I think you have to kind of do both, right? Because we have bucket list destinations.
Right.
We don't necessarily know what we're going to do when we get there.
Right.
Right. But I agree with that. I think, especially if you're active, right? So you have some people that vacation just to relax. They're like, don't call me for no. I will be in the bed. I will be at the spa. So they're not necessarily going to be outside. And if they are outside, they're going to be in a lounge chair with a robot, right? But if you are planning for the activity, different sites like Viator, definitely recommend. It's normally very affordable.
Right.
A lot of travel advisors use Viator to also help plan different trips. They have the best activities and I think the best range of prices to kind of look at. So, and what I love about Viator, it's global. It doesn't matter what part of the world you search for. Viator has something there, either a tour, an excursion, an experience, what have you. So I'm a big fan.
I used that a lot when we went to Hawaii a couple years ago. And it just made it so easy. You just go on there and just kind of like, okay, I'll be here Tuesday. I'm going to do this Tuesday.
Nice.
And it was very affordable.
Very affordable. Yeah. Because you think certain things are expensive, and they can be.
Yeah.
If you depend on the concierge of the hotel. But Viator. Yeah. And,
agree.
And they're usually guaranteed. And if you need a refund of some kind, you can get one.
Yeah.
With those vendors.
For sure.
So Costa Rica definitely high on my list. And the last three, the Netherlands, Vietnam, and Scotland.
Okay.
Again, all very solo travel friendly, right? Safe, all very culturally rich. Vietnam specifically, they talk about budget friendly, delicious food. And then Scotland, of course, is scenic, full of history. The Netherlands, bike friendly.
Oh, yeah.
Very active.
Yes.
Yeah, the Netherlands is definitely.
I heard Vietnam was very hospitable.
Yes.
Like they'll take care of their, not just Americans, tourists.
Right.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Yeah, and affordable.
Yes. It's important, right?
It is so important because you want to do the most when you're there, especially when you're flying all the way across, the other side of the world. Like I want to do as much as I can.
Absolutely. Well, it's so important too. And that's why I think a lot of Asian countries make the list when it comes to budget friendly and friendliness. It definitely makes a difference. It definitely. So those are the top 10, I would say.
I love that list.
Yeah.
Especially Japan. Like I would have never, I didn't think anything bad. Like I didn't think it was dangerous, but it just never hit my head or, it never came into my head to go to Japan. I really want to go to Singapore.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard great things.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
Too.
Yeah, Thailand is definitely one of the ones I'd love to go to for sure. I've never been to that specific. Yeah. Definitely want to go. So what are some of the biggest misconceptions about solo travel for women that you think?
I would say one of the misconceptions is that it's not safe.
Yeah.
And that's not true. If you do your research, if you are tuned into your local embassies that are close by, of course, letting people know where you're going to go, make sure your friends and family know where you are, communicate with them daily in terms of your location. Solo travel based off of time of the year, culture, location, and how attuned you are to the folks back home can be very safe. So that's one thing I want to make sure we dispel because I think that solo travel is something that's greatly desired, especially by women, but we are reluctant to venture forward because we have people in our ear that may not know what they're talking about. Right.
Well, safety is the first thing I always think of.
Yes.
Yeah, especially by myself.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think you can also go on the State Department website and look at each country and see, how safe it is. And they give you very good details, how to contact the embassy.
Absolutely. And I have some resources that I'll pass along to you guys today as well.
Okay.
Actually, let me give them to you now. So for apps and tools for women travelers, you have your Be Safe. It's literally lowercase b, safe. That's going to give you your SOS alerts, live GPS tracking, things like that. So that's a great app. Then there's Noon Light, and I'll send these to you guys as well. It sends help silently with a button press.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it shows you kind of how to use it, and it'll break down, all its features. Then there's Trip Whistle. Trip Whistle is has different emergency numbers in every country so that you have that at your fingertips as well.
Awesome.
Then there's GeoSure. GeoSure is it has the safety scores by neighborhood, including women's safety specifically. So you can go on there, type in the area that you're searching for, and it'll give you the safety scores for those areas.
I had no idea.
I know.
Resources.
I know.
Yeah.
Wow.
I came ready, y'all.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, it's good.
Google Maps, they do have an offline Google Maps because you don't always have access to Wi-Fi. So that's the navigation without internet. So definitely tune into that. And then we have Smart Traveler, and you guys have probably heard of Smart Traveler before because it's where your travel alerts and your embassy info come from. So if you have that always, and I recommend that.
Is that the one the military makes you enroll in?
Yeah, we don't really endorse a specific.
Right. But there's.
Don't put that out there. But the Smart Traveler, yes, is probably the most comprehensive.
Okay.
And they do a really good job. They keep their stuff up to date.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, that's a great question. But always, yes, the State Department website, and they also have an app is really probably your most current. But a lot of these other apps are great too because they do utilize AI to sort of, search and find things that were not accessible to us maybe just 5 or 10 years ago.
Wow. Yeah.
So it's pretty amazing.
Awesome.
That's cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Those are amazing resources. I really had outside of the state sites or whatever. I had no idea.
Yeah. Yeah. There's quite a few.
Yeah.
And because, you guys, this is a great topic. So kudos to you for, thinking about it and inviting me to come and talk about it.
Of course.
But because it is something that is highly, I think the other misconception is that there aren't women or even men that want to do solo travel. Absolutely the contrary.
Right.
Some of us don't have friends and family that are adventurous that want to go with us on these trips. And so for some of us, solo travel is the only option.
Right.
Because there's no option of not going. So we're going to go.
Right.
So that's definitely a misconception. There's actually a very high demand for solo travel. Another misconception is that it's lonely. Actually, solo travel can be. Yeah, Emery.
Yeah, I love it.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure you can attest to the fact that it actually leads to more social interaction,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because people are like, hey, what's going on? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
And you're usually not the only solo traveler.
Yes.
So you do meet some great people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know with several cruises, because my family and I love to cruise, we meet solo travelers all the time and we sort of adopt them and say, no.
Yeah.
So we encounter them all the time. I think it's awesome. Also, it's the other misconception is only for young or single people, right? Not necessarily.
Yeah.
We have plenty of baby boomers who love to travel, mature adults who love to get out there. And then also we have married couples who maybe one half of the pair doesn't travel or can't travel.
Right.
So they're like, well, bye. I gotta go. And so they go travel and come home, take care of their responsibilities. But yes, we have plenty of married or committed individuals who do travel solo.
Yeah. I think for me too is I can finally afford it now. I didn't have the funds back in the day.
Yeah.
Especially as a single parent, So now I'm like, it's me time.
Yeah. It's me time, so it's go time.
Right.
I think too, just from the younger me and now I feel more confident and more confident in myself to go by myself.
Yeah.
Like before it's like, oh no, I can't do that. I need my friends all by my side. But now it's like I don't need that.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with going wherever by myself other than to dinners with strangers.
Sometimes you have to do, right? No, I think that's amazing. I think that, yes, affordability, absolutely being able to afford travel, and then also being in a place where you're like, you know what? I am enough.
Yes.
Yes.
This is good.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing. And then in that same breath, another misconception is you have to be extremely brave or adventurous. You don't need to be a thrill seeker to be a solo traveler. You can enjoy it on your own, and really planning is what gives you the confidence to do it once and then do it again and again.
Yes.
So kudos to both of you. The other misconception is that it's selfish or irresponsible. Might be a little selfish. I kind of agree.
It's okay to be selfish. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
self-care.
It is.
Yeah.
That's right. But definitely not irresponsible. I mean, I would say 100% of solo travelers, especially those who are planning, are very responsible because they understand they want to be safe and they want to come, they want to arrive alive, right? Yeah. So just to answer your question, those are some of the misconceptions that you have out there, but those can easily be addressed and ameliorated.
Yeah.
I think for people that are scared to do it, you just have to do it the first time. Do it scared. And then you realize how amazing it is. Because I know Jasmine was actually my daughter was the one who, she was doing solo travel.
Yeah.
I was like, I never really thought about just going somewhere by myself. And then that encouraged me. And I was like, this is amazing. I can do whatever I want when I want. If I don't feel like doing something, I just don't do it. Like, it was awesome. So it's I enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think too, you bring up a good point, Anne Marie. Like one of the pros to solo travel is that you're in control of your agenda. You're not having to wait for someone to do something.
Yeah.
Or if someone's not feeling well, you don't have to skip that excursion.
Right.
I mean, it truly is on you. So you're in full control of what you do, which
Yeah.
is pretty cool. Yeah.
I went to Hawaii with my ex a couple years ago. All he wanted to do was sleep. I'm like, bro, we're in Hawaii.
Bro, come on. Yeah, no, that's unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that why he's your ex? That's
There was a lot going on. A lot more. But honestly, if I didn't jump out of that relationship, I
Yeah.
would have still been miserable. I would have stayed with him if he hadn't done what he did. Just because I was like, oh, he's a decent dude. He doesn't hit me or whatever. But I was not, like, it wasn't a happy relationship. Like now I see me by myself thriving.
Yes.
And with him, I think I would have still been there. I would have still been there, miserable.
Mm.
I just don't think I would have jumped out of it if he didn't do what he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, like, I mean, that's when I started my solo trips. Like, just kind of feeling like, I don't know, like, I needed it. I needed some self reflection. I needed that time to myself. I needed to figure out who I am and everything. And so that happened. That's how I went on my first solo trip.
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah. Like, thank God you were an a-hole.
Because here I am.
Exactly.
Solo travel born. I love it. Yeah. Every bad thing that happens is for your good.
It opens
For a
another
reason.
door.
It does. It really does.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So, girls' trips.
Okay.
What are your top destinations for some girl trips?
Okay, so did some research. I have my own personal list, but what I wanted to do was to, because when we talk about, and I love your initial question is what are the best destinations for the solo travelers? Well, the girls' trips all lined up with my girls' trips. So I absolutely love to talk about girls' trips because I'm a girl's girl. So number one is Tulum, Mexico. Is anybody surprised?
Tulum, Mexico.
No, right?
Have you been there?
Mhm.
Oh, I have not been there.
Yeah, Tulum is very popular, I would say, and especially for girls' trips because there's always a plethora of things to do and the affordability of Mexico, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, because when you have girls' trips, you're dealing with people with different financial, needs and responsibilities. So you've got your beaches, you've got your wellness retreats. Number two, one of my personal favorites, Napa Valley.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
So beautiful out there.
Yes, yes, yes. So what I love about it is the fact that you're going to get a combination of international and national, or regional locations. But Napa is super travel friendly. They've got a lot of course, wineries all up and down Highway 12. And then on top of that, what I love about it is that it's easy. It's a weekend trip. You can easily meet up in Napa,
Nice.
do your thing, and then come on home.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cindy loves wine.
I do.
Don't be trying to be in Napa every weekend.
I
see you, Cindy. I see you. I ain't mad at you either. And then Mykonos, Greece, right? Nobody's surprised at that.
Yeah.
We're headed there in October.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you get right off that trip, Cindy.
And Anne-Marie.
Both of y'all. We'll talk about that. But of course, you guys are going to see the beaches and the villages. New York City, huge girls trip, right? Destination. Manhattan specifically, but there's also other parts. You've got your Broadway, you've got your Central Park, you've got the Empire State Building. You've got all these different things in New York that, again, you can do over a 3-day weekend. Be back in time for work on Monday.
Cindy's been there a couple times.
Yeah,
right?
I like New York.
I've yet. It's on my list.
You haven't been in New York yet?
Not. I know.
Okay. Oh, we got to get that. You got to go. Listen, I'm going to challenge you to get to New York City before the end of 2025.
Done.
Okay.
Do it.
We're doing it.
Okay.
Oh, I'm doing it.
If you want to go by yourself, go for it. I'll go with you too.
Go girls, whatever you want to say. Yeah, it's a great birthday thing too. And of course, Bali.
Your birthday.
December.
December?
Mm-hmm.
New York. That's perfect.
It's gonna be so pretty.
Oh yeah, have all the Christmas lights up.
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be amazing. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. You can reenact Elf.
Yes, that's my favorite movie.
I'm gonna hop across.
I love it. We can do it.
I will so do it. Nobody knows me.
I'll never see these people again.
Exactly.
Never.
Until you're on YouTube.
Right. Until your image is on YouTube.
Hey.
It never falls off.
Then I'll be invited to a talk show. That's my dream. Maybe something like that to get me there.
Hey, it's worth a try. It's worth a try.
Drew Barrymore, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Her show is really good, actually.
Yeah, it is.
Bali. Okay.
Bali.
That's definitely on my top 10 list. I'm just telling y'all. Bali, of course, the retreats, the lush landscapes, the swing, right? We all got to get on the swing with the dress.
Yeah.
So that's like, we got to check that off. Paris, France, the fashion, the pastries, the romance.
Yeah.
Barcelona.
Oh, yeah.
Barcelona, Spain, another girls' trip.
I want to go there. I've never been to Spain.
Yeah.
I want to go to Spain.
We're going next year too as well.
Oh,
One of the stops
nice.
in Portugal. So it's a princess cruise, 14 days, a lot of different destinations, but Portugal and Spain.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's going to be. And when you're going, what time of year?
It's gonna be July of next year.
It'll be beautiful.
Beautiful. We're so excited. Yeah. Sedona, Arizona, y'all.
I went there. That was another solo trip.
Did you love it?
I loved it. I made the mistake of booking a Viator. Am I saying that right? Viator to the Grand Canyon. Not realizing how far it was. I could have just stayed in Sedona and did all my hikes and everything, but I still did like a lot around Sedona.
Okay.
Beautiful, amazing, so much to do, fun, very accommodating. Like it was awesome.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I stayed at a little resort. So the back part of it was just right on a creek. Like it was just amazing. It was definitely.
Pictures are beautiful.
Yeah. I would go back. That's one place like I'm on this thing where I never want to go to the same place twice because there's so many things to see. But Sedona is one of the places I would go again for sure.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like I did what I needed to do there because I was like, oh, let me go here, let me go there. Like I could have just hung out in Sedona the whole time.
Just rely on
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah. I love those electric bikes.
We get a lot of requests for Sedona, Arizona. It's easy. You get in, you get out. Another great weekend getaway. Another one that is kind of sneaking up because people are looking for U.S. destinations is Salt Lake City, Utah.
Oh, nice.
It has your salt spa baths.
Yeah.
They've got some beautiful locations up there too. So yeah, absolutely.
There's beauty everywhere.
It really is. It's just so many places I want to go.
Yeah. And it's okay. You get to pick a new location every month.
Yeah.
Yes. And if you own travel, you can do it. You can do it. Charleston, South Carolina.
Love that city. Me too.
There's such culture and people are friendly and it just you feel like you're in a different time.
I rented a bike and just rode a bike everywhere. It's such a bike friendly city.
So green and beautiful.
Yeah.
It is a nice place.
It's beautiful.
People are very hospitable there too as well.
They're happy. You go to certain places, you can just feel the vibe, and the aura. Yeah. Charleston is one of those places.
That's one of those places I don't think many people would think of.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
But it is. It's a nice place to go.
It's beautiful. And they've got tours with horse-drawn carriage.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know.
A lot of history.
A lot of history.
And then, of course, Japan gets back on our list. Tokyo, Japan. Yes. The fashion, the food, culture experiences. So I think you'll see Japan on a lot of the lists.
Okay.
There. Yeah, for sure. So, so those are the girls' trips. And you can see there's not a whole lot of cross between the solo and the girls.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why that is, but Japan, you're going to see on several lists.
Nice.
And different places in Asia, period.
I need to go there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, so there's this, you've got some more stuff to add to your bucket list.
I have a lot, like the whole world. There is no end to the bucket list.
Again and again and again.
It is. You just keep adding to it.
Yeah. Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Speaking of traveling all over the world, for budget-friendly trips, what would be your recommendation?
Okay, so there are about 4 countries in Asia specifically. I mean, when you talk about the best or budget-friendly destinations for women travelers, men travelers too, right? Let's be real. You're talking Vietnam, India,
Oh, yeah.
Indonesia, Bali,
Okay. Yeah.
right? And Thailand.
Yep.
And so what we're finding is that, yes, Asia is probably the most non-accessed, if that's a word, areas. It's on people's list, but it's not always the first place that they go. But definitely those are your 4 most budget friendly. And it's interesting. They're all in the Indonesia region. Yeah.
So do you have some like money saving tips for people that want to?
Yes. So here's what I would say. I'm always going to say plan ahead. Last minute travel is expensive.
It is.
Right? You can sometimes find budget friendly last minute travel, but it's not always going to be to where you want to go.
Right.
If you're like blindfolded, if you're like, here, right? That's fine. You can do that. And
wherever the dart lands.
You could probably get there pretty cheap, but it's not going to be where you want to go. If it's somewhere you've always wanted to go and you're like, okay, I definitely want to go and I don't want to spend a lot of money, right? Everyone's budget is relative to their situation.
Right.
Start early because you can absolutely put your vacations on layaway. Yeah. Because let's say, for instance, you've identified, I want to go to Thailand next year, this time next year. Perfect. So what I would do as a travel advisor is we would look at your dates, we would look at who's coming with you, or if you're traveling solo, and we would then secure your vacation with a deposit and you would pay over time.
That's what I need.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay. So you do that through your company.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yes. We show people how to do it. And it's super easy when you can pay a little bit per month.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, my trip is paid for.
Yeah.
60 days or 90 days prior, it's like, I'm done.
That's
then it
good.
Doesn't feel like a financial burden.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know with our Greece trip, we made that little deposit and I was like, oh my God, I have so many months to pay it. I never did. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, it's due next week. I'm like, oh man. So I like the idea of putting it on layaway.
Yes. Yeah. You got to use the payment plan. You got to use it, because they're going to want their money. But yeah, that's what I would say is the most. And I don't think you have to sacrifice luxury. Again, if you're starting, you can have the vacation you want if you start early.
I love bougie travel.
Yes, bougie travel.
I love it. I feel like that's my I feel like that's me, but I just can't afford it. I feel like I should be at that bougie level, but like I'm, not that type of baller.
So I have her staying in campers.
Oh, yeah, she does.
No more campers. Oh, God.
How girly.
Goodness. We got a top. Now there's glamping, right?
Yeah, that was actually a lot of fun. I was surprised.
Okay.
Yeah.
We went on a trip to Big Bend for the weekend.
Nice.
Yeah.
It was super fun.
Was that fun?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, so how bougie was it?
The camper was not, but we slept in it, and then the rest of the time we were hiking.
Yeah.
So, but we cooked dinner on a campfire, and I'm very campy.
Yeah. So you like camp?
So I like outdoors like that. So I accommodated her with the trailer. instead of me sleeping in a tent, because I would have been.
No, I'm not a tent.
Yeah.
No. Oh no. I like to be outside without a doubt. Like I'd love to do, but I want to go back to a hotel.
But I'm glad we were in a camper because the coyotes at night, you could hear them. Just
right.
Say coyote.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh,
you're a good friend.
Yeah.
I'd be like, Cindy, I'm out. Catch me on the come up. I'll see you in the morning. I'll be at the Hilton up the road.
And then the gas station ran out of gas.
Yeah,
We didn't know
it
how we were
was
getting home.
something. The water, like we couldn't drink or shower anymore. They were like, you had to shower with water bottles, brush your teeth with water bottles. Like it was a trip.
Like you guys were deployed. Like,
Exactly.
we had deployments that were ready to.
Yeah, exactly.
I brought out the MREs and everything. I'm kidding.
But it ended up being such an amazing trip.
Yeah, it was
It's
fun.
beautiful out there. That's definitely a good weekend getaway.
Yeah. I'm glad you guys had a good time.
It was
And I'm
fun.
glad y'all arrived alive.
Yeah. we got gas. We showed up.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That is so fun. But no, I mean, I think you're right. I think that everyone in your audience can relate to a time where travel was inaccessible because it was unaffordable.
Right.
Right. And so, because think about it, if we had all the money in the world, what would we do?
We'd be traveling. Yeah.
Mhm.
We'd be traveling. So we need to talk about how you guys can own travel and stop, being in trailers with coyotes and all that. We're done. We're done with that. We're done with that. But seriously, being a travel advisor, one thing I do love about it is that, there's no requirement to book for anyone else. I am my number one customer.
Yeah.
We have access to travel agent rates, but on top of that, we get to write off our trips
Yes.
as well. Yeah. Because travel is our business.
Yeah.
Right. Whether that's leisure, business, or bleisure, a blend. Right. It is absolutely the future. It is the way folks should travel. You should get that tax write-off. You should get that incentive and earn the commission that's built into your travel because you're paying it regardless.
Yeah, we have a trip to Florida in September that we're writing off because it's part of our
podcast.
Yeah, that's good.
But it does need to be more often. I saw, I do a lot of networking and and there's one girl, specifically a Disney traveler, and her Instagram is so great. And she did this one where she hopped on a plane for a day, went to Florida, did something new that opened, like went all around, did all the foods. And the way she puts it on her Instagram just makes you want to go. And then she flew back for the night. And that was all tax write-off.
Wow.
Yep. And she just it's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, that needs to be me.
Yes.
Just take our microphones.
Yeah. Just ask one person a question.
Yes.
Oh, but I love that idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially for people who maybe can't afford to go as many places as they want to be going.
Absolutely.
That's almost like one of the best ways, besides the layaway, to make it happen.
Yes.
Is you're getting it
100%.
back.
Yeah. Well, and I love it too, because in that same scenario, you guys wouldn't have to take your microphone.
Yeah.
Right? Because here's the deal. You're traveling. You're posting your pictures already. You are selling that vacation.
Right.
But you're not making a dime.
At all. Yep. And I even have people like went to Tahoe with my daughter, and like people were asking me like, hey, where did you stay? Where did you go? I'm like, geez, like there's opportunities out there that I'm just like, because anytime you start a new business, it's a lot of work.
Yes.
But it is out there, and people see, because I put my travel stuff on Instagram. I'm not good. Like I need some lessons, but people do ask you questions about the places you've been because they want to go there too.
Yeah.
So it is an opportunity without a doubt.
And with as much as you guys travel, especially now being out of the Air Force and living your best lives on the other side of service, it is critical, right? Because people are going to ask you, where'd you go? What'd you do? And you all have like who you use. But what I'm encouraging you guys to do is monetize that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Because you're already doing it.
Right.
You're already travel advisors. You're just working for free.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a fact. That's
we
true.
will have that discussion as soon as we hit end.
I love it. I love it. And I love the fact you guys are outside. I love that.
I like being inside too, though.
Yeah, we talked about that.
I like it both. So travel do's and don'ts, like what are the essential do's and don'ts for women traveling alone?
So absolutely. I want to share some safety parameters because I want to make sure that every woman listening to this, and obviously men can benefit from it as well, but women, we tend to be a little vulnerable, a little bit more vulnerable when we're traveling alone, right? So the first thing I'm going to really encourage you guys to do is to research before you go. Learn about the local customs,
Yes.
dress codes, areas to avoid. Check your travel advisories and health requirements, right? Because let's say, for instance, you get injured, or maybe you have a seizure or something happens, right? Know where your emergency, your ER rooms are.
Yeah.
Make sure you have the health coverage needed before you're traveling out of the country, right? Because some health insurances cover you outside the country, some don't, right? And so the other piece of that is travel insurance. As a travel advisor, I would be remiss not to recommend travel insurance. A lot of us don't take advantage of it, but it's because we don't understand what it covers. So, travel insurance is really great for your pre travel issues. I remember probably about probably 3 years ago now, we had planned and booked a trip for a family of 5 to Saudi Arabia.
Oh.
And it was a great trip. Everything was locked and loaded. And of course, I advised travel insurance. Well, this was during the time frame where you had to have a negative COVID reading before you left. So guess what? 24 hours before they depart, 2 of the 5
Oh my
positive for
gosh.
COVID. Well, luckily they had travel insurance. We had to cancel the trip, but because of travel insurance, they were able to make the claim and get 100% of their expenses
That's
back.
awesome.
Nice.
Because you guys know, after a certain amount of time, all your deposits are due, and there's a point at which the trip may be non-refundable.
Right.
We had reached that point, but because they had trip protection, they lost nothing.
I'll be honest, I always decline it. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I'm like, nope. I'm going.
I will be there.
Yeah. But
Right, right.
I'm sure so many people save so much money
Yeah.
with that.
You do. You want, especially your big trips, right? So if you're going to Thailand, if you're going to Indonesia, if you're flying to New Zealand, Australia, get the trip protection.
Yes.
It is worth it. And as a travel professional, write off that expense. So
That's true.
include your
Nice.
trip protection. So research before you go. So stay connected. You want to share your itinerary with a trusted friend or family member. Check in regularly, especially when changing locations. Drop a pin if you can.
Yeah.
Make sure people know exactly where you are. Make sure you know your ingress and egress points, right? For those of you who are military out there,
In and out.
right. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. You're already looking at that, right? But for some of you who may not have that military training, or you're a new solo traveler, understanding how you got in and how you're going to get out of a situation, a room, a location is very, very important. Number 3, I'm going to encourage you to blend in, dress modestly, avoid jewelry or expensive gear, and observe how local women dress and behave. That is very, very important. You don't want to stick out like a sore thumb,
Right.
because then you can become a target.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trust your instincts. If something feels off, remove yourself from that situation, right? So many times as women, we have red lights that go off, right? Danger, danger.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. Worried about danger, danger. No, it's okay.
Because you also don't want to overreact, but it's important to trust your instinct.
That part.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. Okay. God gave us instinct for a reason.
Yes. And it's usually spot on.
Right. And it's usually spot on, right? So don't worry about being polite, right? If your safety is at stake.
Right.
That's the first thing we worry about as women is, I don't want to be rude.
Yep.
Okay. Rudeness is forgivable.
Right.
Right. But we want you to remain alive. Then I'm also going to encourage you to secure your belongings. Use anti-theft bags, money belts, things like that. Let me tell y'all something. The fanny pack is back.
I love
I do
it.
the
The fanny pack is back.
It is.
I like my sling.
Hey,
You know what?
Sling
that's
bag.
cute. Wait. Show that
Even
to the
men are
audience.
using fanny
Sling
packs.
bag.
Love it. Love it.
I saw a lot of men on the cruise using fanny packs.
Yes.
Men and women.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their purse. Fanny
Yeah.
purse.
Yeah. And well, what's happening too is, depending on your back situation, carrying a backpack is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
The sling is probably helpful because it's a sort of a crossbody.
Yeah.
So you kind of balance that out. But for some people, backpacks are just super heavy. And then for men, it's like, having that fanny pack, being able to have the wallet in front instead of having it in their back pocket so somebody takes their money.
Yeah.
I saw some videos, like, I guess in Italy, pickpocketing is a huge problem.
The gypsies are, they have the kids distract you and gone.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. It's a profession,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
For most people. So we definitely want to make sure we keep our stuff secure, keep copies of important documents in a separate location or in a cloud storage in case you need easy access to it. Also make sure those folks you're regularly connecting with back home have copies in case you need to call them or they need to send an email or a fax or something because you're in trouble or in a situation. Make sure somebody else also has your important documents. And then avoid walking alone at night. I know this sounds very obvious, but again, in certain areas, we may feel safe. So then we do things that we would normally do if we were at home.
Right.
Don't do that. All right. You want to use trusted transportation or walk in well-lit populated areas, stay in accommodations with good reviews, 24/7 reception. And I will say I'm a huge proponent. I don't normally endorse anything, but I will say that TripAdvisor, between Expedia and TripAdvisor, has some of the best reviews. If you cannot find your location on Expedia or TripAdvisor, I would think twice.
Oh, interesting.
I would think twice, only because they make it a point to have very detailed overview of that particular location, and having them on either site also gives people that you're looking towards to say, hey, how'd you like it?
Right.
They're able to give that review and say, hey, this is a place you want to stay, or hell no, stay away from this place. Yeah. So, and then the last thing is limit your alcohol intake, especially if you're solo traveling.
Right.
If you're with your girlfriends, do what you got to do. Take care of each other, but limiting alcohol intake, stay aware of your surroundings, and never leave your drink unattended. And again, I know this sounds common sense, but when people are comfortable, or maybe they found a group of people to hang out with, but essentially you always want to be aware. That's very difficult if you've been drinking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of Investigation Discovery. So that's like my training. And I'm like, I saw this one lady, she was on her own, and another lady befriended her, and they were at the bar talking, da da da. So then she ended up going back to the woman's room, and they were hanging out. She killed her and stole her identity. Now she's going on trips with her money and her identity because they look similar.
Right.
Oh, wow.
I was like, not me. If anybody looks like me, they're trying to talk to me. I'm like, no, no.
You have long brown hair. We cannot be friends.
Right.
I totally get that. Yeah, no, those things will keep you trained up real well. Yeah, for sure. Oh my God.
I have a question that's not on here. If you're traveling internationally and you lose your passport or your ID, like what do people do in that situation?
So we've had that situation with some clients of ours. So that is why it's important, the Smart Traveler app that I talked about earlier, getting in sync with the embassy. What's neat is that you can let the embassy know. There's a form you can fill out online to let them know you're going to be in country. And they will also have your information.
Oh, okay.
Some of that is to put your passport number in, so it actually happened to my sister, Tracy. She's a solo traveler.
I would freak out if I was solo and lost my passport.
Yeah. It happened to her. And the main thing she needed to do was she got to the embassy, let them know what happened. They were able to say, okay, you're an American citizen in a foreign country. We're going to help you go to this place. We'll meet you here, all this kind of stuff. You can have things couried and sent to you.
Oh, yeah.
Depending on the country. Some countries are easier than others. Right. But that's why it's important that you register with the embassy prior to getting there, because then they know, oh, yeah, Amaria, yeah, Cindy, they're in town, they're in country. We have their information right here. We can vouch for them. We can provide supplemental or helpful.
Just so they can get on the plane and go home.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That'd be so scary.
That's a great question. Yeah. It happens to a lot of people.
I mean, things get stolen, and there's people out there that like backpacking and trust hostels and things like that. Yeah.
And that's why having your information by by a loved one that you can get in touch with, or in a cloud somewhere where you can easily bring it down. If you have a picture of your passport, that will work in some situations.
Okay.
Because you have the number, you have your picture, they can see it's you, and then you can explain, hopefully in English.
You're not in jail.
Right.
Oh my God. That's a whole nother episode.
I know, right?
What are certain platforms or tools that you can recommend for finding affordable flights or accommodations?
So one of the top ones that I recommend is it's very easy, it's at people's fingertips, is Google Flights.
Oh, yeah.
I really like Google Flights because it is kind of unbiased. It sort of just gives you, okay, here are all the airlines that are going where you're trying to go during this time, during this date, so on and so forth. And then you have to then do that further investigation. But I think Google Flights gives you a nice comprehensive overview. There are other tools like Skyscanner that allow you to then monitor that particular flight in terms of pricing, right? So, okay, it's this price right now. Do you want to purchase, sort of thing? Those are probably my two go-tos.
Okay.
As a travel advisor, we have tools available to us that the consumer does not have access to, and those are always very helpful as well. Flights are one of those things where, and you guys are seeing it probably now, that are very volatile, and this simply means there's up and down, up and down. Right now, the flights are not bad.
Oh, okay.
The pricing has kind of, gone down, but that's because of competition. That's because of a lot of things that are happening on the home front politically. And so other countries are doing their best to encourage us to come visit and come travel. And so we're sort of in a volatile situation right now where ticket prices are pretty competitive right now.
Okay.
So if you're going to book travel, in the near, I'd say the next 30, 60, 90 days, this is the time frame to do it. Because once that 90 days is over, we don't know what the deal will look like. But yeah, I'd say those two are the best. Then you'll hear different pieces of advice based off like credit card points and credit card companies. I'll be honest. If you have the points, I'm a huge proponent of you using them. If you have points on your credit card, call your credit card company. They have a travel section. And get with them as far as what you can use those points on. Some of it you may be able to get a whole trip for free.
Yeah.
What I will caution against is using your credit card, extensively in order to get free travel.
Yeah.
Because essentially you still are paying for it. You're just doing it in a different way. So I think there's some responsible ways that you can, do that. But if you already have the points, absolutely take advantage of that. But I think there are other more cost-effective ways to get great vacations without going into debt.
Yeah, that way.
Yeah.
That's going to be my thing.
What's the benefit of someone planning their own trip and hiring a travel advisor?
Great question. I will tell you, during the pandemic, everyone who had a travel advisor was very happy.
Yes.
And everyone who did not was not. And I'll just simply say, because working through a travel advisor guarantees a lot of what you have. So for instance, when the pandemic happened, a lot of our clients, 100% of our clients were very pleased with the outcome, because either we were able to work it for them to get their refunds or their credits for future travel. They didn't have to spend long wait times on the phone, because we had VFR direct access to those vendors on their behalf. So instead of waiting on a consumer line going through their travel agent, we were able to get on the travel agent line and get directly to that company. So that was beneficial. Travel advisors are kind of your concierge. So we go out of our way to do our best to provide the best customer service. But also we want to help you plan your next trip, right? Because you're thinking about, okay, I want to go here next. I want to. So for individuals who are pressed for time, travel advisors are great in that regard. Now, there's some of you, like the two of you, who love to plan your trips and who are very much invested in being hands-on. And for people like you, I would say, become a travel advisor. So there are people who utilize travel advisors because they don't have time to book their own trips and it's not fun for them. They just don't like to do it. And then there are those who are already travel advisor savvy that simply need the tax benefits and access to the commissions that you guys are generating from all your trips. And so those are really the two categories of folks we work with.
That's awesome. Yeah. I'm kind of leaning towards, this is where I want to go. These are things I want to do. And I just want to show up.
Yeah.
I like that. Because when you're trying to figure out where to go, like when I was trying to go to Costa Rica, I was like, I don't even know where to start.
Right.
I just want to pay someone, and it includes my flight, my hotel, my excursions. I just want to be like, okay, be here Wednesday at 2:00.
Boom.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I'm leaning towards that more now.
Call Storybook Vacation.
Storybook Vacations, we can absolutely help you. Yes. Full service. Yes. That's what we do. And we do a combination. So we get clients like you that want 100% of their trips planned and they just want to show up. They give us their budget. We stay in touch with them through the process and then voila.
That's awesome.
Right. And then we have those that are kind of hybrid. They bring us on to help secure, but they're very hands-on. They want to be involved. And then we have others who just maybe need ideas, need to pick our brains about certain things, and then they just go with it.
Oh, okay, cool.
So do you help with like the excursions while they're in country or wherever they are too?
Absolutely. 100%.
Very cool.
Yeah. So we want to make things easy for the client. And a lot of times our clients kind of have an idea of what they want to do. They just don't know.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
Are traveler's checks still a thing?
I think checks, like, are checks still a thing?
No.
I think, I don't think we'll ever get away from checks specifically, but I will tell you the world has gone digital. Like,
Oh, okay.
everything's digital, right? But yes, traveler's checks.
So a lot of people don't worry about getting currency for that country and things like that anymore. It's just credit card wherever you go.
Yeah, credit card wherever you go, as long as you let your bank know ahead of time.
Right. They don't stop you. Right.
I know USAA is bad for that.
Oh my gosh.
Best.
Yeah.
Denied. So that happens. But yes, usually credit card. And then of course you have your currency exchange normally at your airports and your hotels.
Yeah.
They make it very convenient for you to do a currency exchange. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how can people find you if they want to book their next awesome vacation?
Well, thank you. Thank you for asking. So we are available. We have storybookvacations.com, .godaddy.com. But probably the easiest way is to send us an email to storybookvacations@yahoo.com. That's the easiest way to get a hold of us.
Okay.
Send us an email. Let us know that you'd like to connect, and we will schedule an appointment with you to see how we can best help you and your family.
Okay. And you're also on social media?
Yes, storybookvacations.1 on Instagram and Storybook Vacations on Facebook. So I'll make sure you guys have those socials.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, those links. Yeah. But excited to talk to your audience today. I hope it was helpful.
No, it was so great, especially those safety apps.
Yes.
That's something that we'll have to put that just as a clip in itself.
Yes.
Right.
I didn't know those existed outside of the ones that we use for the military.
Oh, wow.
I was like, I had no idea.
And I can guarantee that's number one in women's minds when they want to travel.
Because guys don't think about that. They're not worried about it.
No.
That's the first thing I always think about.
Yeah.
It's the first thing. Well, especially solo travel, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, where can I? But there's so much. The thing is, there's so much information now, more so than ever before. And what I'm going to encourage people to do is to leverage the internet.
Yes.
World Wide Web, right? Do not be afraid to look things up. Do not be afraid to utilize AI, Copilot, and ChatGPT. Now you're going to have to check some of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because it's still limited. The human mind is still the best way to do things, but it's a great starting point. And then you can do your research from there.
Yeah.
But I think that because there's so much information out there now, it's like you've got the world at your fingertips.
That's true.
Yeah. More so than, just 5 years ago.
Yeah.
There's stuff we know now. There are more apps now, 5 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Than 5 years ago. So yeah.
Well, we're so excited to have you. Can't wait
A lot of great information.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you guys for having me. This is so awesome that you guys did this.
Yes.
Perfect.
It's been very fun.
It has
and
been
I've
fun.
learned so much from every episode.
Yeah.
There hasn't been
That's
an
true.
episode that I haven't learned something.
Yeah.
That's so great. You guys have 100 more episodes coming up.
At
right?
least.
We have 1,000. Thousands.
Yeah. Thank you for choosing us on the No Expiration Date podcast. We hope today's episode has inspired you to dream bigger, plan smarter, and travel confidently. Remember, adventure does not have an age limit. It has spirit, and you've got it in abundance. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss out on more inspiring episodes. Share this podcast with your fellow adventurers, and let's build a community of fearless travelers together. Until next time, keep exploring, keep dreaming, and as always, travel safe and travel well. Stay bold and beautiful.
So go on the State Department website and look at each country and see, how safe it is. And they give you very good details how to contact the embassy.
Absolutely. And I have some resources that I'll pass along to you guys today as well.
Okay.
Actually, let me give them to you now. So for apps and tools for women travelers, you have your Be Safe. It's literally lowercase b, safe. That's going to give you your SOS alerts, live GPS tracking,
Awesome.
things like that. So that's a great app. Then there's Noon Light, and I'll send these to you guys as
Okay.
well. It sends help silently with a button press.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it shows you kind of how to use it, and it'll break down, all its features. Then there's Trip Whistle. Trip Whistle is has different emergency numbers in every country, so that you have that at your fingertips as well.
Awesome.
Then there's GeoSure. GeoSure is it has the safety scores by neighborhood, including women's safety specifically. So you can go on there, type in the area that you're searching for, and it'll give you the safety scores for those areas.
I had no idea.
I know.
Resources.
I know.
Yeah.
Wow.
I came ready, y'all.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, it's good.
Google Maps, they do have an offline Google Maps because you don't always have access to Wi-Fi. So that's the navigation without internet. So definitely tune into that. And then we have Smart Traveler, and you guys have probably heard of Smart Traveler before because it's where your travel alerts and your embassy info come from. So if you have that always, and I recommend that.
Is that the one the military makes you enroll in?
Yeah, we don't really endorse a specific.
Right. But there's.
I'll put that out there. But the Smart Traveler, yes, is probably the most comprehensive.
Okay.
And they do a really good job to keep their stuff up to date.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, for sure.
The No Expiration Date podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are our own and do not constitute professional advice. While we strive to provide accurate and up-to-date information, we make no guarantees regarding the completeness, reliability, or accuracy of any content. This podcast should not be considered a substitute for professional guidance in any area, including legal, financial, business matters. Any actions taken based upon the information presented are at your own risk. Listener discretion is advised, and all content is shared in good faith for entertainment and informational purposes only.